Welcome to the Perfect Podcast. Why am I saying this?
So you were just up here and you could just, this was acceptable level of right there.
Perfect podcast.
It's too high.
Still too much.
I need maybe that was like a 10. I need to be at a. Thank you.
You're welcome.
See, supportive people. You need to have them around you. And this is why I'm already excited about this episode, guys, because we have a topic that's so near and dear to my heart because I've dealt with this personally. My family has dealt with this, but mental health.
Something everybody deals with.
Do they really?
Everyone.
To some extent. Some more than others. Yeah. But I'm excited because we have with us Miss Rachel J. of Half Hood, Half Holistic on the couch with us.
Yes.
Welcome.
Welcome, man.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Oh my God. So I'm too
hood.
excited. Look, are we in the hood? Is this considered the
I
hood?
about to say, but when I pulled up, it was a man outside with one of them Bluetooths, like he be driving trucks and he was talking to himself.
He was talking to me.
It wasn't hooked up.
I just feel like Atlanta's the hood.
it wasn't
Like,
on. Like, wasn't on.
Because you're not from Atlanta. Like, where you originally from?
I'm from upstate New York.
New York in the building.
Yes.
And how about the pot calling the kettle black? New York calling Atlanta hood?
It's upstate New York, which is like hood and country at the same time, which is kind of like Georgia.
I think you described Atlanta.
Really, Atlanta is just black. The rest, if Georgia is not black,
Yeah.
quick
Yeah.
geography lesson for those of you who don't know. Ooh, because baby,
It's a real red state.
You go a few
It
miles
is. That's what I heard.
north.
It gets scary.
Or even south.
Look, you need to be off the road before the sun go down.
Okay.
It gets scary.
All right.
That's the hood part. But tell us about this half hood, half holistic. Like, where did it come from and why mental health?
That's a good question. So Half Hood, Half Holistic is a holistic wellness business that centers the mind, body, spirit healing of Black folks. And so our goal is to create a community, a space, a lifestyle where mental health is normalized, destigmatized, and quite frankly, the vibe, right? And so Half Hood, Half Holistic was a baby that was born from me. As a licensed mental health clinician, I'm both a social worker and a marriage and family therapist. But we weren't serving Black folks, right? Black folks, at least not, regular schmegular Black folks, right? So I feel like there was this thing that if you were a Black folk and you could get into a therapy or some sort of formalized mental health services, you had to have either good insurance or you had to be able to pay. And so that just meant you were certain, you just had access, right?
Yeah.
Our mission is to create accessible and culturally relevant care. That's our goal.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
I like it.
Thank you.
That's dope. Okay, so I can see the holistic piece, and then is the hood piece really just catching the vibe? You said
It's come for the vibe, stay for the healing. That's our tagline. That's
I like
for the
that.
vibe.
Yes,
I like
thank
that.
you.
Stay for the healing.
Because that's what it's about. I think it's the hood part is the culture of the hood, right? It's who all gonna be there. It's your people. Like it's the language that we use. It's the memes that we can talk about in our sessions. It's the music that we incorporate. Like for me, it's the culture of the hood. And because I truly believe if your services are not reaching the regular schmegular Black kid, Black boys and girls in the hood, then it's not reaching far enough, right? And so our goal is to make sure that we're not like having these services that are only for a certain type of people, right?
Wow.
And
So how do you do that? Like, do you just walk around diagnosing could you give a diagnosis to Tiny like right now?
Oh, I can tell you what my problem is.
Oh, what is it?
This podcast.
See?
But we'll talk about it another day.
Okay, see? So when you have that kind of aggression, when we're clearly vibing,
okay,
you know what I mean? It's clearly a vibe.
vibes.
When you have, do you just assess people right away? Like, on another example, I've been telling people for years, I've got Asperger's. It's a little well-known fact. My family knows, everybody knows I have Asperger's.
Okay.
But when I went to the doctor, they wouldn't diagnose me.
Okay.
Yeah. I really feel like I've got Asperger's because I just really want to say what I want to say.
Okay.
And I don't want people judging me.
Understood.
Yeah, that's really why.
So what do we call that in mental health terms? Somebody who just wants to say whatever they want to say.
And not be judged. Because you know what, doesn't that happen? Like if you tell somebody immediately, I got Asperger's, they're like, don't worry about what he does because he's got Asperger's.
Oh, so that sounds like a cop out? Is that
No, it's a diagnosis, self-diagnosis.
But if you like,
I've read a whole lot about it. It's
on WebMD.
Google,
Yeah.
WebMD. I think I saw something on Wikipedia.
Okay.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about.
It was a couple sources I referenced because the last article I wrote
Yeah.
about Asperger's, I put a couple
You put it
references
there.
in
Okay. I understand.
Yeah, it was a long.
So you preface that before you say what you have to say, so that people are like,
Usually
oh,
when I meet people, I don't say it
Okay.
every time.
okay.
Yeah, but when we first
So you
meet,
just lie so you can get an excuse to do and say whatever you want to do and say.
what you call a
That's the
lie?
hood translation.
That's what I think he's saying.
Was that the hood translation? Is that
Yes.
what
So it's a little bit.
so is that the half hood, half holistic thing that's happening?
So the holistic or I would say, I'm a little concerned, and I would like to support you through your journey.
That is so nice.
I'm going to say you need to stop lying to people so you can do and say whatever you want to do and say.
I like your approach.
Okay.
I bet you do.
That makes sense.
That was so nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the support, how do you offer support to folks who may not know what it is they have, but clearly something's wrong?
Well, one of the things that I think is so important when we talk about half hood, half holistic, we're talking about mental health, which is historically not something we're discussing in Black communities, right? And so somebody might feel like something is off or wrong, but what do they have to base that off of? Wix, right? Or Wikipedia, Google, WebMD. It's very similar to how Black folks experience things in their physical body, and then we wait really long or until the symptoms get worse to do something about it. And so same thing, we all have physical health. We also all have mental health, right? And so we all experience mental health. Now you can do what you need to do to manage your mental health, just like you can do what you need to do to manage your physical health, right?
That's
like
a good
put
point.
down that hot sauce, and like maybe that you're not supposed to be doing these things, And I also think about how we all experience mental health challenges. So the same way in our physical bodies, we could, run up the stairs, slip, fall, roll our ankle. At that time, we're going to need a level of support. That does not mean that we are broken or that we are weak. We would need crutches, right? If you broke your ankle. We also have mental health challenges where we're going through life and something happens. We slip, we fall, right? And we need support. But somehow we're calling that weak. We're saying you're broken. There's something wrong with you.
Right.
And so I think mental health is so broad that until we start having conversations about what is something that could be potentially a diagnosis, but not everything is a diagnosis, right? Just the same way that your stomach hurt, that don't mean you dying.
Right.
Could
just be a little trap gas.
You need to stop eating ice cream because you're lactose intolerant.
That part.
There's that. Right?
So could I be maybe like ignorant, tolerant, intolerant?
I think you could. Tell me more.
Because they're triggers I figured out to my Asperger's.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had to do a little diagnosis.
Mystery.
It's little triggers to
illness
this
that doesn't
thing.
exist.
And so one of the triggers are stupid people.
Oh.
They trigger me. When somebody doesn't make sense to me, it just gets under my skin. I don't understand people who don't make sense. Because I make sense all the time. Like
I don't know
my
why you
mind
look
is so sharp.
I don't know why you looked at me.
I was confirming because
So
this kind of feel like couples counseling. So I was just confirming that what was coming out.
That's what I be trying to say. I'm like, my co-host knows me.
Okay.
That's why we sit on the couch together. And she, a lot of times, just tries to get under my skin.
Oh.
It's hurtful sometimes.
It is. I'm sorry.
And so that feels like a slip and fall.
Yeah.
Like roll my ankles sometimes. When,
Yeah, I think you need some support.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do they call you Doc, Rachel?
They don't call me Doc.
They don't call you Doc.
You can.
Doc.
Makes you feel better. Yeah.
It does. Help. What do we do?
He also diagnosed himself on WebMD and a litany of other random search engines.
Yes.
Wikipedia.
For all we know, he was on Bing.com.
He could have been. Right. Yeah. Firefox.
Anything.
Anything.
AOL, MySpace.
Wow, that's embarrassing.
Planet
And
Bebo.
though I will say that there was something that you were feeling that made you go and look those things up.
Yeah, it was.
And so we got to come back to that, right? Like, I don't know if it's a diagnosis or not, but you were feeling something, and that's important. And we should
I feel a
start
lot
there.
of things.
Yeah.
I feel pretty empathetic. Yeah. Along with my extreme
That makes sense.
focus
Yeah.
in high performing brain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Empathy is another strong quality I have.
Absolutely, which means you take in lots of energy.
Absolutely.
And vibes. So when you don't like the vibes,
I feel it affects me.
it does.
Yeah.
You can't stay for the healing because it's not healing you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So how do you facilitate this healing? What things can I come to really be involved?
Oh my goodness. So there's so many things that we do. One of our main program areas are social wellness events, because one of the things that we know is that people live in spaces where they're around people all the time, but they feel disconnected, they feel isolated, and that isolation and being disconnected is the breeding ground for things like depression and anxiety.
Right.
And
So you telling me it's possible to have done maybe almost 30 episodes of a podcast with someone
Yes.
that you're really close to, hypothetically speaking, and you're telling me that it's very possible to sit on the couch with them, gaze into their eyes, love the camaraderie, the friendship,
yes,
the beauty,
the beauty.
Have these words been redefined?
and feel so alone.
It is possible to coexist in a relationship and not feel connected or affirmed in that relationship.
Eugene, do you need to excuse yourself?
I'm
How
here
do
for
you
the
feel
healing.
about that?
I came
Girl,
for the
I feel like Eugene ain't got no Asperger's. Over here crying. Just wasting water.
Oh God.
You okay?
I'm here for the healing. I'm here for the healing. I
Is there
appreciate it.
anything that you would like to?
I'm going to tell you a backstory. Eugene told me we was going to Coachella. I pulled up.
Coachella,
It was a podcast.
a little betrayal.
And now I'm stuck.
Is how that relationship started.
It started with manipulation. So let's talk about that.
It did. That sounds a little bit.
Let's just go back to the events that you
No.
do.
Let's talk about the manipulation.
We're
talk about
Since
the
we
trickery.
in it
Let's talk
now.
about the trickery.
So
Y'all
you
bringing
have.
up old
Do you
stuff?
have any events that are coming up?
Yes.
In the near future?
Yes, I do. Thank you. Wonderful. Yes. So social wellness is important because we want people to heal together. We believe that you heal in community, that communal-based healing is a value of ours. And so we have a few things. We also host tribe check-ins, which is a monthly space, no cost, virtual. Pull up. You ain't got to ask who all going to be there because it's your tribe. And that is the first Sunday of every month. And so that is consistent. It's ongoing. And in February, we are glad to announce that we are hosting the first Black Men's Mental Health Summit in upstate New York. And so that'll be in person.
That sounds beautiful.
A room full of crazy black men.
Healing Black men.
Oh, healing black men.
Yes.
I knew that. That sounds really
Pulling
good.
up? You coming?
Healing black men, of course. The crazy black man, I'd have been like, that's not me.
I'm here for the crazy black man.
Yeah. It might be a good place to
You know, I like a little excitement in my life.
Ooh.
like a little.
Do you find people actually go and like look for dates at events like this?
I mean, I could see it.
I was about to say, I'm sure it's probably happening.
One
Like, you
time.
might not go there thinking that I am looking for a partner, but you might meet somebody that you vibe with,
This is true.
and then you can heal together.
And there are people that pull up when we host events specific to Black men.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Oh, they pull up.
we see women randomly in the vicinity. Ain't never been here before. What y'all doing?
That is different right there.
But that's okay because we all want a healing
Right.
partner. We want a healing, and we want our Black men to heal
That's true.
because they create better and stronger families.
That's true.
But isn't that the same thing you said? Like when you roll your ankle and you're hurt, right? That's
Yeah.
the equivalent. So the physical harm is the equivalent of mental harm, right? So isn't that like the equivalent of like a nurse hitting on a patient? You know what I mean? Or roll them to a hospital like, hey.
No, it's like a patient hitting on a patient.
Well,
Oh.
I think what happens is if the crutch historically is being used, like Black women are the crutch in relationships with Black men. If Black men are finding other ways to heal, then that y'all can just build a relationship. Isn't that great? I don't have to rely on Black women to be my crutch, to be my therapist, to be my healing space. I can just create a beautiful relationship because I'm healing my stuff and she's healing her stuff, and then we kind of got some stuff that we might need to heal too. But you got, everyone has their lanes in which they're healing. So I think is that, it's pretty attractive to find a Black man that's going through their healing process because they ain't going to be bringing that into this relationship or into their parenting.
Which is another reason why I tell people I have Asperger's. It shows I'm really in touch with my health and my status.
Eugene, you made that up.
I can see how you got there.
See? Thank you. And I feel at some point, I really want to be an advocate for all those out there that are dealing with Asperger's.
You became the spokesperson.
I am the Asperger's spokesperson at this point in time. Okay? So for anyone who may be experiencing such challenges of Asperger's, and
can you define Asperger's?
I don't even know how to spell it.
Okay, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Shocker. Didn't see that coming.
It's Asperger's. See, doesn't make sense now? I have Asperger's. I can't spell it.
That's dyslexia.
Did I misdiagnose?
We've been telling you that since the beginning of this interview.
It's probably true.
Call me.
Look at him healing.
Call me.
You see that? You see it's happening here?
In real life.
In real life.
Because you had support, not crutches.
High five.
Booyah.
No, wow, damn.
Love it.
I just like more of the holistic support. That hood support. It's a little,
but sometimes it's
scary.
necessary.
I was about to say, sometimes it works.
That's the language we speak.
Okay, so let's talk about that. What's the difference of language between holistic healing and somebody like in the hood?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, first of all, I think that it's important to note that like this concept of holistic healing has been like whitewashed, and like, capitalism is all up and through it. It just feels like you have to be all zen and namaste and like be able to do yoga, and that doesn't fit for a lot of people.
That's what I'm saying, because part of my mental healing is I got to use the word nigga.
And that's okay.
Is it?
Because
some people be like, oh my God, you can't say that. But I don't know why in me, nigga, journey. Just, you can't, something goes wrong, you be like, nigga. It has so many connotations to it.
It could be some of the generational healing that you're trying to do, like you're reclaiming it. And that's okay for you,
I never thought about it that deep. It just feels good.
It gets deep.
But you thought deeply about Asperger's.
Yeah.
So some of the language, I think it's important for people to feel seen and affirmed in their care, right? And so if I feel like I have to perform, if I feel like I can only show certain sides of myself, like if you can't do that in the therapy room, you can't show up as your whole self in the therapy room, like where can you show up, right? And so I want, what I say, your Cardi B self and your Solange self to come through, right? We want to, because it's okay to namaste and then get up and twerk. It's okay to like rap.
Sessions is lit.
Because that's vibes, right? It's okay.
It's duality in people.
It is duality. It is multifaceted, because that's who I am. Like that's how I show up, right? And
so is it just a patient that's twerking, or is it a thing that the doctor does too?
Twerking.
If I go to therapy and my counselor is twerking, I tell you what, that's my last session.
That would keep me coming back.
I didn't come here for that. Now I need to know that I can if I need to.
Yeah.
But I ain't come here for that.
Yeah. I might send some videos of like, hey, here's an influencer that does this, or like, let me connect you. Again, it's community-based healing, right?
I thought you were going to.
I don't got to do all of it. That's okay. Because there's different strokes for different folks, right? And there's different type of Black people, and there's different type of people that subscribe to different pieces of Black culture. I don't have to encompass all of them, but we do have to understand that so that we can provide a container for people to really show up the way that they choose to show up, not the way that we feel like they have to show up, right?
Man, that is so good. You're talking my language.
Oh, I
like it. It feels authentic.
Now, do you do just like individual counseling?
So I do individual, and so it's important to know that we do coaching and not traditional therapy, and that is because we like to practice in this non-traditional way. We also like to open up right, space for the mental health field on its own, right? And so one of the things that I do know is that once people are like, hey, I do want to seek some support for my mental health, them wait lists be like 3 months long.
Absolutely.
You can't find a provider. People are not responding. And so we think if we can train holistic wellness coaches, or what we call hood healers, then we can open up space for the rolled ankle versus the person that is having a heart attack and needs to have a specialist, right? Those are different things. And so we do offer one-to-one support. We also do couples sessions. We love our good couples. And
them hood couples.
The hood couples.
I stay next to one.
Did you?
They're loud. Very loud. I hear all of their business.
How many times the police been called over there?
4.
I knew it without even knowing any more details.
How many times did you call the police on
Twice.
them? Okay.
Me and my other neighbor.
Seen that coming.
I did. I was scared for my life.
Get them up out of there.
You can't.
Get them up at homelessness for everybody. Because that's going to boost the mental health right there.
Their issues was affecting my mental health.
I'm telling you. Get them up out of here.
They got to go. Okay. But I got a question about this hood, because this is just so deep.
Yeah.
These hood dealers? Healers.
They are dealing.
Hood healers. You have a training program for hood healers.
Yes.
So is it like, what, a 6-week program that they go through, what, like weed first, then...
Who said anything about?
It's hood. You know, they got to smoke some weed.
Why do you equate marijuana with the hood?
They don't.
That's an even deeper conversation.
That's a problem?
I don't know if I'm the perfect podcast guest for that one.
Right.
I don't know if that one is for me.
Somebody get Dr. Umar on the phone.
I don't know if that one is for me.
Okay.
Yeah, that was.
What is the training of a hood healer? Like, do they got to scam first? Do they got to? I
feel like you are equating
the association.
The association between hood, which we understand to be Black culture, and these negative stereotypical things
that happen in the hood.
Yeah,
we got to stop that.
Do you want to?
But that's what happens in the hood. Like,
it also happens in other places.
Yeah, I'm about to say it happens a lot in other cultures.
So you don't teach people how to break in cars?
I do not teach people how to break. Atlanta teaches people how to break in cars.
Got it. I was just wondering what the hood part of that holistic was. It's not that.
That's not it.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
I think the word hood here is more so being used as short form neighborhood.
Yes.
As in community.
Culture.
As in, yeah.
Got it. See, I'm smart.
That's that Asperger's kicking in.
That is correct.
See how that works?
Yes. That's that. Yeah.
It all makes sense. Viewers.
It's something. I'm not sure if it's Asperger's, but
I'm so glad that you picked up on it. Because when I tell the guest, he gets mad.
I don't get angry. Outwardly. Inwardly, it's kind of hurtful. We're not going to go there, though. We're talking about mental health. So that's great. Okay, hood healers.
Yes.
You got your events. What is one thing that you absolutely need people to walk away knowing about Rachel J?
Well, that I show up as aligned and as authentic as the brand, right? And the brand Half Hood, Half Holistic is just me. Right? Showing up in spaces and hopefully shining light on people in the community that also feel like, yo, I'm half hood, half holistic too, right? Like that is a descriptor.
Yeah.
People already know what the vibes are, because if you're not half hood, half holistic, then it's probably not for you.
Right.
Right? If you don't know what that is, if you're not here for the vibes, if you can't understand that, it's just it also does its own marketing, it does its own screening.
Right.
Right? I've never had a client or anyone that is not half hood, half holistic, because why would you?
Barbara from HR, she not pulling up.
Well, you never know how Barbara's showing up, because duality exists in different ways, you know what I'm saying? Because Black women, we can perform. I don't know Barbara.
Not Karen.
I can't tell what color Barbara is.
Karen ain't coming.
Shirley and Barbara. Okay, Karen, I think.
Karen's
probably not coming.
She's not invited to
Annabeth.
the barbecue.
Annabeth from accounting, she not coming.
That's intense. I mean, if they...
A lot of white people have 2 names. I think
they do. Country, too.
Yeah, I think it's catchy.
But knowing that you don't have to experience this by yourself, that we're all like-minded people trying to go through this mental health together, and that it doesn't have to center your pain, that it can center joy and connection, and that it can center and be a transformative process, not one that is around stigma or being crazy or being shunned, that it can really be a community-based process and that we heal in community.
That's so dope. Is crazy one of those terms that you're not supposed to use anymore? Like retarded, you know? Is it like cliche? Is it really? Like you're not supposed to say you're crazy?
She's shaking her head for at least 10 seconds now.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know if that was
I was waiting for you to finish. I didn't know where it was going,
okay.
so I was trying to figure out how it was going to unfold.
See, that's what I was reading. I was picking up on the verbal and the nonverbal.
For sure. Yeah, so no, those words are what they would call stigmatizing. But we, in the United States in particular, have a really interesting history with mental health and how we treat people that have mental health disorders. And so knowing that some of those words come from and are baked into things that we used to say not too long ago, 20, 30 years ago, right? Retarded used to be an actual diagnosis, right? How we used to treat people that had mental health issues and or that were different than us. Like, we have a long history, and we are just now starting to unpack that, like in the last 10 or 15 years, excuse me. And so it's important to know why language is stigmatizing and or where we should try to move our language, but it's also important to know how did we get to this language in the first place, right?
A very important question. Probably should ask this early on. It's
super important, yes.
What's stigmatizing?
Oh, that's a good question.
I had no idea. I couldn't even understand the context of what you just said.
Wait. I'm going to give the hood definition.
Yeah.
Come on.
Stigmatizing is like when you stereotype something. Like when I assume that because you black, right,
you smoke weed.
That you smoke weed. Or that you have a bunch of illegitimate children. Or that you are lazy. Or that you steal.
Or that you're aggressive.
Yeah,
angry.
Like black women.
Like angry black women. Wow.
That's a stigma.
That's stigmatizing.
A stigma is like labeling something based on maybe not coordinating characteristics.
And what it really does is the beliefs and the attitudes that something is inherently bad or wrong, right? And then we, based on attitudes and beliefs, we then have actions, right? And so that's where things like discrimination can come from. So if I just assume, for example, in our example, that black people are bad or wrong, then I will treat them as bad or wrong.
So
right?
is smoking weed stigmatizing?
That behavior itself, I don't believe that is stigmatizing.
That's what I be trying to tell Tiny.
What?
I didn't say it was stigmatizing.
I'm saying I'm high right
the
now.
association, I think, is what you were talking about. Yeah. You high right now?
I am high right now. I've been high before we started.
That explains it.
That makes lots of sense.
Yeah. Okay. Can you tell us because in my thought process, I pictured a session, right? A half hood, half holistic session. And I'm like, it's probably not a couch, like most therapy sessions, right? They come lay on a couch and then you sit behind a desk and you're tell me your issues, right?
Yeah.
I pictured, just something different, like a living room with plastic on the couch.
On the sofa.
That is stigmatizing.
Is it? Y'all got plastic on your grandma couch?
No, I do not.
Are you serious? You don't?
I do not.
Did you just assume because I'm black that I have plastic covering my couch at home?
No, I assume because you black, you had plastic on your couch. Everybody that I know that's black, except for y'all.
Today?
I kid you not, my grandma to this day got plastic on her couch.
I know what you're talking
grandma.
about in reference.
Grandmas probably do.
That's what, I don't have it myself.
Right.
So what? You asked us.
You see why it's confusing
Not you,
to work
I'm
for
sorry.
him? Do you understand now?
I'm sorry, not you.
She gets it. That's all I wanted was
The
for one
family
guest
structure,
to get it.
is there in grandma, granddad, anybody's house in your family, is there plastic still on the couch?
Not in my family, no.
Oh, wow.
We probably had to have an intervention at one point in time to help that.
Take the plastic off?
Yeah.
We haven't had that.
No. I could help that.
Because y'all do the healing work.
Oh,
we
Nana.
do the work. No. Yeah, Nana.
We need to do the healing work.
Yeah.
Get the plastic off the couch. Okay, but beyond that, the session itself, can you tell us what would probably be the wildest session that you've had in a half hood, half holistic setting?
Well, one of the things I want to dispel is that even therapy itself, traditional therapy, you're not coming and laying on the couch, and it does look a little different, and hopefully it feels like home, or at least comfort, right? Because it's going to get real uncomfortable in those sessions, and so your physical space should matter. I think couple sessions are wild. Couple sessions are wild.
How wild, Rachel?
I think
you can remove names.
I wouldn't do that. Okay. But I think we've had certain sessions where working with couple systems is usually up and down a lot, and so sessions where it's I'm ready to divorce, I'm ready to walk away, I don't want to do this anymore. People logging off, like peace out, and then next week is a different story. They want to come back, they want to reconcile. But really what that is just working on managing our emotions, right? Not being impulsive and not being hurtful in our words and how we interact with people. So I don't know what you are imagining as the wildest session.
Well, I was because I've had sessions on the couch specifically with my co-host, and she got violent. Okay, I'm just gonna put it out there, Tiny. It was some physicality that happened. I was scared.
Okay.
And so I didn't know if that happens in an actual session.
It should not happen.
It should not. I knew it.
In an actual session.
Girl, if you think I would ever get violent with Eugene and he survived, that's the first mistake.
It was
I get violent. Listen.
No, it was I had to run.
Did you?
We was rolling around here like Tom and Jerry.
Wow.
It's wild.
Yeah, that's intense.
That little thing. They call her tiny, but she ain't. She's everything but tiny.
It. Not that.
She's so strong.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, she is. She's so strong.
Yeah, as she should.
She's fast too.
Why you think that? Because I'm black?
We black.
I was just checking.
Okay, I'm just saying. Okay. Sorry, Rachel.
No, that's okay.
It's not supposed to
speaking
turn into a session.
Of Black women,
Come on.
we do have the self-love workbook for Black women.
I would love one.
Yes, and I was, looking at your shirt.
Right here.
What did it say?
It said we tired.
We tired. Black women.
And I dropped the verb on purpose. We tired.
Tired.
We tired.
Yes. Black women are tired.
How does the self-love workbook assist with Black women being so tired?
The self-love workbook is because Black women are tired. It came out of this need for wanting to reclaim who we are and how we can show up in this world without our worth being tied to what we can do for other people. Right?
That's good.
Oh, it's
That's good.
Thank you. Thank you. And so self-love is this very nice term, almost like self-care, right? It's massages, it's bubble baths, it's all of these wonderful things. But self-love, that process is a difficult one. It takes lots of time. It takes lots of re-examining who you are and how you show up, and being able to do that in community, but also with language that resonates specifically for Black women, right? And so the workbook is comprised of some history, right? Nothing exists without history and context, and so Black women ain't just tired because we woke up one day and we just got tired.
I'm not
right?
sleepy. My soul
is
tired.
Yes, and generations of Black women are tired, and our relationships.
I live on naps. Naps would really help.
I love
the
naps.
nap don't work when you spiritually exhausted.
It's spiritual. It's different.
You can't take a spiritual nap? Is there such thing?
You could. You can take some sort of a sabbatical, right? You can step back, step out. But Black women feel like they can't because we're juggling all the balls. Right?
Wear too many hats. We got to be too many things all the time.
Yeah.
And then even when we show up in the best way possible, there's still one person.
Yeah. We're the key, the connection point for everything, right? And so we believe that you heal Black women, you can heal the world. But what does that do for Black women feeling like I can't step back, I can't take a nap, I can't rest, right? Because if I do, then the rest of the world falls apart, right?
And who's going to juggle the balls after if you take a rest?
Hopefully the men that's getting healing
We don't juggle balls.
Okay.
I know a lot of men
There's a couple men out here. It's Atlanta.
that are healing.
There's
I don't know
some
what
ball
Eugene
jugglers.
is talking about.
Ball jugglers.
And that's why we're tired
That part.
as Black women, and we're
Juggling all the
working
balls.
through that through this workbook. And there's a group that goes with it, the Self-Love Sunday group. That's every third Sunday of the month. But yeah, so the workbook does some context and history, talks about why Black women show up and all of the things that we have to work against. Body image, hair, relationships, feeling like we have to be the caretaker, right? And how we show up in that caretaker role. Colorism, career, right? Black women in corporate. There's so many things. So many, in sisterhood, right? And so even just the threat between being able to create another healthy relationship with another Black woman, with our daughters, with our moms, like there's so much baked into that. And so we spend some time thinking about that in the workbook, and then we have activities, practical things that you can apply, some affirmations and journal prompts and activities that you can go through to help you on your self-love journey.
Could
And
that be
baby,
used as like a cheat sheet for men? Like, could I get some inside scoop as to how to help heal a Black woman by getting that book?
I think it's helpful. I think it's good context. I think it's good conversations, because there is no healing journey that can happen by themselves, right? And so even though we're talking about self-love is also the relationships that I choose to be a part of. Self-love is also the boundaries that I choose to set. Self-love is also the things that I continue to allow in my relationships because I don't honor who I am at the core. And so men could absolutely get the book and learn a little bit about how a Black woman's self journey looks, and then create their own, because Black men also need a journey of self-love as well.
Okay, give us some advice, because as we are well beyond our time, because this is amazing. I can talk to you all day. What could a Black man do to really assist a Black woman in her healing journey?
Ooh. Do you want to answer that?
Don't be a burden.
Why was that so quick? How does she do
Because
this?
hey, we tired, okay? There are enough I'm looking dead into I'm talking to you. There are enough societal pressures, okay? From the time I wake up to the time I go to sleep, I'm constantly being criticized. And then on top of that, you, Black man, okay, want me to be your mama. Even though the relationship with her is stressful. You're looking for ways to punish your mama through me. I have to constantly remind you to do this and do that, and teach you how to love and reciprocate. I'm tired. Go heal. So we can be assets to one another and not a detriment, and in turn go out into the world and damage more people.
So don't treat her like your mama, even though she called me daddy.
Please don't.
Y'all both need a session. Maybe even individually and together.
Never together.
Never together.
Baby together.
I would say that
Can you see her eyeballs? Look in her eyes. It only takes a few seconds. Mesmerizing. Aren't they? My co-host is gorgeous.
It's murder.
So I will be at your Black Men's Retreat.
Yay.
Okay. I will definitely read the self-help book.
Yes.
Is there an audio version? Because I really don't read books.
There's
Another lie.
there is an electronic version
Like, okay.
that you can dictate.
Oh, well, I'd have to dictate it. Got it.
We not, Oprah didn't read it.
Baby,
on
she
Audible.
said healing, okay? You got to take accountability, which means you got to do the work.
I can't just listen.
She didn't come here to give you
highlighting,
handouts.
some notes. Mine is all tabbed up.
Because you're thorough with that thing. Wow. That's so impressive.
Thank you.
So good.
Yeah.
How many of your patients hit on you, Doc?
Oh.
Is that random?
It's not random, actually. Not many of them, because that's
many.
not appropriate.
But it happens.
No, it does not.
Yeah, okay. Wow. The cough.
Yes. No,
Okay.
that is not
Inflection.
appropriate. And
That is really inappropriate.
well, you know what actually it is? An interesting point there is that when people feel like they can have a non-judgmental space to show up as human with their flaws, and they feel affirmed, and they don't feel judged, and they feel held and supported, that you will misconstrue that as something different. Right?
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
And so I think
I get that all the time. Women always think I'm hitting on them, and I'm like, I'm just giving you a safe space to be you and show up.
building intimacy, which is
Is it intimacy?
intimacy, emotional intimacy is being able to be vulnerable, being able to be
Yes.
safe, being able to be seen and affirmed.
So isn't that what happens in a session?
Yeah, I mean, there's a level of emotional intimacy that some people have never even tapped into or had before.
That's what I was going to say. And they automatically assume, when people think of any type of intimacy, they think romantic.
Right.
So,
So is it possible to have intimacy without the romance? Like
Absolutely.
all the time.
That's what we want. We want to have I want to have not romantic intimacy with my friends. I mean, imagine like being able to show up and just be seen for who you are, right? Like that's connection, that's community. It's not performative. It's not me having to show up in certain ways. Like that is what we were hoping to connect. You can build intimacy with yourself. Like how many of us can show up and be in space with ourselves and not judge ourselves and not, feel safe and feel affirmed? We are actually the biggest threat to intimacy is ourselves. You have self-intimacy, you can have intimacy with partners, family members, friends. Absolutely.
I am still in shock. I have literally heard from most of my life that a man who's in a relationship is not to be intimate with anybody. And I'm like, no, I don't have friendships that aren't intimate. Like, I don't like superficial conversations. So for my friends, like really platonic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? And so to know that, no, that's a goal. Like,
Yeah.
that's
The goal there, when people say intimate, they mean don't do the act of intimacy, right? When they're talking about sex, you're not supposed to be. And that's also why we recognize emotional intimacy, because we recognize an affair as someone that maybe you didn't physically have relations with, but you built an intimate relationship with somebody outside of your relationship that is not open.
threatening or-
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Or y'all didn't agree upon it. You didn't let your partner know, those kinds of things. That's where the betrayal comes in. But emotional intimacy is a thing and something we should strive for in our relationships.
should we also strive to be romantic without intimacy? Is that a thing?
You can.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Yeah,
I'm going to tell you what, romance without intimacy, you about to get cheated on, big dog.
I would venture that lots of people are experiencing romance without intimacy.
You're about to get cheated on.
Unfortunately.
Or just have a lot of fun.
Because romance is an activity. Yeah, whatever works for you.
A lot of fun.
Whatever works for you, as long as you're not harming yourself or others in the process. And that's
Are handcuffs considered harm? I don't.
whatever works for you.
Come on, Doc.
As long as it's consensual.
Half hood, half holistic. I'm here for it. I'm here for all of this. This is amazing. All right. Was there anything? How does somebody connect with Rachel and the whole movement?
Now you get it. Now you understand.
It was a lot. We went through a lot of
I
things.
know. This is so much fun.
Now you need a session.
I gotta come back
We definitely
so
coming
we
back.
can unpack.
What if we tape a session? Have you ever taped a session?
No, we could do a mock session.
No,
between you
I'd
two.
really
I
never
would
touch.
volunteer. I would do it.
Let's do it.
I would. She could do a session with
Could
me,
we tape
and we
it?
could tape it. I would do it.
That is going to be behind the scenes, perfect podcast exclusive. It's going to be the personal session with Tiny.
I'll do it.
Okay,
Time
good.
to get vulnerable.
Cause we tired.
Because we're tired.
Come on, show black women how to heal. We need to see the process.
Let's lead by example.
Let's do it.
This is amazing. All right, Rachel, how does someone else connect with you?
Yes, you can find us on Instagram at Half Hood, Half Holistic. You can find us on Facebook, Half Hood, Half Holistic.
Can you spell
And you
that?
can
Just
find
I'm gonna
us.
put it on the screen probably, unless I'm lazy in the edit.
You want me to spell it?
Half hood, half holistic.
Is it
for-
holistic that's
The
tripping you
holistic
up?
is probably the.
That makes sense.
I mean, it's not tripping me up. This is for the viewers.
Oh,
I know how to spell holistic, and Asperger's.
so can you spell Half Hood, Half Holistic?
I can.
I don't even know why you entertain
You can
me,
find
but
us at www.halfhoodhalfholistic.com. That's also where you can book a consultation directly on the website. And
okay, headshots.
Oh, she
oh,
fancy on that.
Yeah.
Look at you.
I
dude.
love
We
it.
need some followers.
Yep.
Okay. So
Oh, all of y'all, make sure y'all follow Half Hood, Half
I done
Holistic.
did it.
appreciate
Because
it.
Rachel's out here doing the Lord's work.
Thank you.
Healing us black people, healing
Yes.
black women.
I want the world to be a better place
Yes,
for
and-
black people.
And
in
turning down the
particular.
black men that's hitting on her in sessions.
Yes, that is a
That is
requirement.
unprofessional.
That is ethically not a good
Yes.
thing. Yes.
And
And
so,
sometimes punishable by jail time.
Correct.
Ooh.
They can revoke my license
oh, no, we don't want
and
that.
all of the things.
So if anybody wanted to date you, they just can't be a patient.
That's true. Yes.
That's
That is
that's
a
natural
fact.
thing. Okay.
That is
so
a
anybody who's
fact.
interested, I mean, she's fine. You don't sign up.
And though, please find a therapist. Please don't skip the process of healing if you want to date me.
Get in line
That part.
with the people who have their own therapists. Have you ever dated somebody with a real mental health disorder?
Have I ever dated? Yes.
They're all real mental health.
No, like not just on the spectrum, like deep in it.
No, I've never. Not with what you're alluding to is a chronic mental health illness. That's the terminology that you're
Okay,
looking for.
that part.
I have not dated anyone with a chronic mental health illness. But again, it's a spectrum, right? And so it can go from a mental health challenge.
Yeah.
It can be anxiety, depression that you can manage on your own. You might need a treatment plan. There's a spectrum. So no, I think what you're trying to get at is someone with a chronic mental health illness. I have not.
Now, what I'm trying to get at though
Yes.
is, did you not date them because you recognized it in the beginning?
I don't go around diagnosing people, especially not on dates. But no,
I would if I had that
also
superpower.
black people are just really good at performing, and so I don't really know
So
if
you can't see? Is it possible to not be able to see it?
And initially, I mean, how many times have you guys been in relationships or in conversations with people and you really didn't see the real them? Like that's the core of Half Hood, Half Holistic. It's like, I want to see who you are in your hood side and your holistic, like all of you. But we get really good at just showing parts of ourselves. Really good at that. Not being seen. Like, how many people are really seen? I mean, there are people we walk around, your friends, your family members, that have the darkest moments at 2 a.m. and you would never know.
Yeah.
Never know.
Yeah, especially
right?
with Instagram.
Yes,
Yeah. Wow, that's deep.
it is.
Okay. All right. Well, Rachel, that's been our time. Thank you so much. We appreciate you sitting on the couch with us. Make sure you all follow Rachel J at Half Hood, Half Holistic. Get her followers up and leave in the comments if you have any mental health challenges.
Don't do that. Just go to therapy.
One thing that you do to assist with your mental health.
That's so
There
much
we
better.
go. That's a better.
That's so much better.
to do.
Leave your mental health diagnosis and then leave one thing that you do,
Don't do it.
okay, to heal that mental health journey. And let's all heal together.
Yes.
All right, guys. We'll see you on the next episode of
Oh, you knew I wasn't doing it.
Perfect Podcast. Doesn't even feel right. The Perfect Podcast! That feels much better. Thank you.
Felt that.
I had to get that out. Okay.